regular scheduled meeting of City of Griffin Board of Commissioners. Thank you for the public for showing up. So we got Harry, Jack, and John here, so thanks guys. We will have the Pledge of Allegiance.
Shannon.
Oh, Shannon. Sorry, Shannon.
Oh, wow.
Sorry about that. Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Ward and invocation by...
Please face the flag.
Please join me in prayer. Father, we are here today to ask for your blessings and guidance in the performance of our duties as elected officials. We pray for strength, love, knowledge, and understanding. Help us to recognize and solve the problems that are presented. Make our solutions fair and just to the best interest of everyone. Help us to overcome our shortcomings and keep us united as a team to work for the betterment of the city and its people. We pray in your name. Amen.
Chairman, I move we approve the agenda as presented.
Okay, a motion to approve the agenda and a second. Any comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the agenda, please raise your hand. Think so? All right, we'll move into citizen comments. At this time, Chairperson opens the floor to comments from the audience. Comments should relate to a specific agenda item not listed on an agenda for a public hearing or to a concern within the jurisdiction of the city. Commission meetings serve the purpose of conducting city business and are not forums for the unlimited expression of opinion. Chairperson reserves the right to limit comments to matters germane to city business and may refer speakers to the city manager or other staff for resolution. Do I have anyone that would like to come forward and address the question? All right. Seeing none, we will move on to public hearings, which we have none. And so we'll move to consent agenda.
Chairman, I move that we approve the minutes as presented.
We have a motion and a second. A motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please raise your hand. Okay, and no abstentions. 5-1 abstention. All right, regular agenda. We will consider a proposal to honor our KIA, John Carlisle, which we had a good morning meeting on. Do you have anything you want to...
Not anything I can add. Thank you again for the opportunity to come and meet with you. I appreciate this morning the time. Cora, I'm sorry that you weren't here to hear the presentation, but I think you've gotten the various written documents. I hope you've read it, and I'll be glad to answer yours or any other questions that may have come up since this morning.
The only question I had was the size of the plaque.
Yes, well, you can take Dick's hand, and it's this size from there to there and from there to there. We just tested it this afternoon.
Okay.
So,
About 8 by 10, right?
There's one across
yeah,
the street.
yeah. And in fact, I went back and looked at it, and it's 7 by 11. So you know that's 7 inches of Dick's hand.
Okay.
But yes, they'll all be the same size. We'll be modifying what's on them slightly and whatnot, but that's basically it.
Okay.
So did you already have a running list of buildings that people have already offered up?
No, we haven't, because we'll be waiting to get things sort of going. But also, Jim Fortune is working with us. I feel like this. I hope I'm not blasting out of the chairs back there. I feel like I am. But there will be an easement involved. We'll get an easement giving us the authority to do it. Jimmy is working on that for us, and we'll have that, and we'll go around and get the various people to sign up on that. That easement will give us the authority to put it up. It will also include the fact that should there be a change in ownership, as we talked about, they'll be able to take them down.
I don't remember you mentioning this morning, but it was the other meeting where you had done it. You kind of told us about how all of them would not be done at the same time.
No, well, actually, they sort of. We'll do a minimum of 12 the first year. They will be. We anticipate that there'll be more people will come forward and say, "I'd like to honor my lost loved one." So there may well be more than 12, but we figured out pretty quick that you can't do one a month. Although it's 12 months and all that. You can't do that because you wear out the various people who have to be involved in each of those ceremonies, the Marine Corps Honor Guard, the various people that are going to attend and whatnot. So the idea now is to do them all at one time and coincide with the Memorial Day celebration. We think the Memorial Weekend celebration, where all the people who have participated or who have been honored with plaques, their families and friends will be able to attend. And also in those ceremonies, the people around the state of Georgia who we hope will come here and participate in the oral history will come here and do it. So in effect, those will go up at one time as a practical matter.
Once for that year.
For that year, that's right.
Oh yeah. Oh no, Lord, no. We can't. Excuse me. But we can't. We can't do 155 of them all at one time. No, there'll be each year. However many we're going to do that year will be done that year. But it's going to be a multi-year project, which is good. That's what we want. We want it to go on for years, and we want to continue to bring people to Griffin and have them participate in something that we found is a very, very moving experience for the families. So, what I'd like tonight, if possible, I have spoken with Drew, and he has spoken to Toussaint, and the report I had gotten that I relayed to you this morning, that it looks like everything, there should be no hitches, no problems. We seem to be online on that. Drew is going to pursue that and make certain of that fact. What I would appreciate very much would be tonight if I could have an endorsement from this body that we can use. As you know now, we have our partnerships in place with Southern Crescent and with Gordon State. That gives us tremendous credibility, not just with private individuals in the community, but beyond. People that we're going to be approaching, asking for help, people who we're going to be out saying, come to Griffin and see what we've got to offer. So
now,
if
do these people have to have been born in Spalding County, John?
No. Actually, the only criteria is they have to be on the monuments here. We're not going to second guess. We're not going to say, okay, well, Sam Smith's name's not on there, but why isn't Sam on there? And I understand there's some families who have a loved one who was lost in Vietnam whose son is not on there, and they want to know da-da-da. Born and raised here at age 17, I think they moved to Barnesville. He enlisted from Barnesville, and therefore he's not on the Vietnam monument here. We're not going to be involved in trying to referee those kinds of disputes. There's no sense in that. So the criteria is if your name is on the monuments down in Memorial Park, then you're going to be we'll be honoring those. 155 of them, 154 men and one woman. That answer your question?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. So it has nothing really to do. In reality, you could be born and move to Griffin when you were 16 years old, or 17 years old, or whatever, and then join. And when you sign up, you put your residency, and that apparently with the government is the residency that they recognize from then on.
So are you looking for?
I would hope that somebody would make a motion and then somebody would second it, and then it would be unanimously.
I move that the Board of Commissioners endorse we honor our KIA program as outlined.
Yeah, a motion. Okay, motion second. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I will say, we had a meeting a little while ago with Southern Crescent and their videography and their part of the new movie section. They're really excited about doing this and creating the living histories. And the professor from Gordon that we've worked with is there, and he has already 5 students signed up for the class, and the class was created just to research our KIA. He expects another couple students, so we'll have probably 7 or more history students from Gordon State doing the research work. So the 2 colleges are really excited about this.
I've got a letter and some information from Henry Smith that when I worked for me, we got his mother's Purple Heart,
Oh.
and that was presented to me back in the late 80s. I have what, from my office, what we had, but it may be enough going that you can get. I think they live on Crescent, and I think that, we might can go from there.
Wonderful.
That's the one I was thinking about.
Just, you just raised the same point. Just as Dick brought up, we were so fortunate. It's incredible because the thing we worried about was bringing the level of expertise, not just to doing the legwork to do the Ancestry.com, to find out where their families are now, to find out what we could about them. They're going to do that for us, and they have created a course just for that purpose. Amazing benefit. The second thing is the videography class at Southern Crescent. We could not, over years, have developed the expertise that these people have and enthused about utilizing, introducing all types of concepts. They're going to provide the equipment, which is no small matter, but they're going to bring a real professional standard to the individual videos, CDs, whatever, of the families, and then hopefully a very meaningful documentary that we'll be proud of. So, thank you, Dick, for bringing that up. Pardon me?
I'll bring you that information.
Perfect. That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, moving on, we will consider for approval to amend the City of Griffin's General Fund fiscal year 2015 operating and capital budget in the amount of $11,574 and transfer $11,573.87 to General Fund operating cash from confiscated assets, Griffin Police Department Fund cash, to be used by the Police Department to purchase Honor Guard uniforms and advertising of promotional materials. Second. I have a motion and a second. Any questions for discussion? All right. Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. All right. Next, we will consider for approval a master services agreement between the City of Griffin and Brown and Caldwell for landfill and solid waste system engineering and consulting services. Bill Francis will address.
Move we approve. You have a question?
Okay, a motion and a second.
If I understand this right, this is an ongoing project that's continuing. This is same engineer, different firm, but this is something you have to do.
Yeah,
Ground well monitoring and all that.
Gil Haynes, the primary engineer, was actually involved in the design and also the minor modifications, everything from cells 2 through 5 on phase 3. We lost our that whole firm basically that we were using, basically just kind of disbanded, and we almost didn't even get our remaining capacity report done this year for the audit because of that. We really left us in a bind, so they've stepped up, and I'm glad that we're still able to retain that. He's got all the knowledge that we need for that, so it's worked out real good.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Okay, we have a motion, second. Any other questions? No? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Hearing none. All right, next, we'll consider for approval to amend the City of Griffin's fiscal year 2015 operating and capital budget by reallocating $3,605 from the contract labor line item to equipment rental line item from transfer station division to solid waste utility. Motion and second. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Marcus, is that what we want to get away from, is having to look at $3,000 transfer from one line item to another?
Yes, sir, that's my mistake on this one. After reviewing it, it was within contract services, and that would have been handled internally with a line item transfer, and I apologize for letting this one get through to the board. So in the future, we'll exercise some scrutiny. But to answer your question more directly, yes, what we would like to do is eventually see a budget perhaps approved at a functional level, at a fund level, perhaps at a categorical level, rather than at the department level.
Okay. All right.
Might as well stick around.
Next, we will consider approval of a resolution authorizing the acquisition of a new Caterpillar 950K wheel loader from Yancey Brothers Company in the amount of $354,835 and authorizing a multi-year lease pursuant to OCGA Section 36-60-13 with Caterpillar Financial Service Corporation for initial term expiring December 13th, 2014, and 5 annual renewal terms, and at a rate not to exceed 3.2%.
Consider the resolution, is that all gonna be one?
And then we will consider a resolution amending the FY15 budget to transfer funds between accounts in order to pay the lease payment due December 3rd, 2014, recognizing that this is the only lease obligation due in FY15.
Mr. Francis,
Yes, sir.
this is a fiendishly large number.
I understand. And
Let me just ask.
yes,
I have great confidence in your wisdom and ability, but is this the most cost-effective way to handle this stuff? I mean, this is
Yeah.
a lot of money.
and if I may, it's not. It's obligating us to $355,000. But it's basically $60,000 a year. If you look at the amortization schedule, the $85,000 buyout or residual actually can be used at the end of 5 years to go against the cost of leasing a piece of equipment.
I think what Dick said, those are a better, more cost-efficient way to handle this without buying. Is there any other equipment to do this job?
the piece of equipment that it would be replacing was the very first piece that I bought 14 years ago when I started with the city. It's got over 18,000 engine hours on it right now, and the net worth of the machine's probably $4,500 now. It's pretty much scrap. The estimate to repair the machine to get it into basic work, because it blew a head gasket and all of the glycol contamination locked it up. Make a long story short, $41,000 to replace an engine in a piece of equipment that's worth about $4,500. So with the lease program that Caterpillar has, the governmental lease, the oil changes, maintenance, and all is included in this, because if you'll see, it's a 5-year, 7,500-hour premier lease. That cuts our maintenance cost way down. So as far as for the budgeting purposes for next year and for the following years, our outside maintenance and our maintenance costs should drop and should stay down with that. But I can't say enough without this machine, we can't load our garbage, basically. The engine failure that we had on the current machine we were running was not anticipated. The engine oil analysis that we were taking did not indicate.
I'm not questioning all that.
Yeah.
What I'm questioning is, we're buying a 950K.
A 950, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me the 949 and 948 or 946 or 932 doesn't do the job? It just seems like this is a huge expensive piece.
A 950.
If it is, it is.
A 950 is a medium-duty machine. It is. It truly is. The smaller machines that you see just won't load it. When you put a 7-yard bucket on it at 800 pounds per yard, it gets pretty heavy in what we've got to move. But I did do some math just for the heck of it. The machine that that this would be replacing has loaded over 3 million tons of garbage in 14 years. Isn't that cool? I say uncool, but we're going to. But think about it. It's amazing how much garbage that one machine has loaded, and Marcus can I talked to him a lot about all this, and he's been really helpful. I don't know why I'm saying something good about you.
Bill told me last week, I thought it made sense. This particular machine's got a very large bucket.
Yes, it's actually a trash. It's a trash package.
Right now with this small bucket on it.
Does this have anything to resend a cycle?
It's just actually loading the waste. Actually, and to kind of caveat on that, we did get our sort line in delivered. They're going to start putting it together. We're going to have another little re-grand opening and stuff. We'll get together with y'all on that. But this is going to help tremendously. It's the only way to get the garbage out.
I'll bring you some paper.
Sir?
And you were anticipating having to replace this machine in the next year or two anyway.
I was going to budget next year anyway. I had
so we're
to,
looking at a year.
The useful life of this particular size of machine, like your ITs and IT-28s and your 950s, 953s and all that's about 15 years if you were going to buy it. With the way that the CAT the governmental lease works, at the end of 5 years, we get that residual back as far as a credit against what a new machine would cost to lease, to release. And then Caterpillar can in turn sell that machine to like your local paving companies and different things that stand in line to buy a Caterpillar maintained piece of equipment that's only 5 years old. So we keep a new piece of equipment running around every 5 years. Maintenance costs drop, and I don't have to worry about putting a $41,000 engine in one that I didn't budget for.
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion and second. Any other questions for Faith?
That is all three, yes, sir, acquisition, lease,
What's in the resolution and in the budget?
If I may add that there's money that is being transferred out of the landfill capital surcharge account from the cash side for $27,000. That's going to be moved to the operating account in order to cover the difference, because we're going to get a credit on the tires that were purchased for this piece of machinery that died. Right, that's the one that died.
The $8,000 tire.
$32,000.
Yeah, well, they just got delivered about 3 days before we had this massive engine failure. So I've got these these $32,000 worth of tires I've got to send back.
Were they on the tractor?
No, never have been put on.
That's why we're getting a refund for those.
So, and then we're taking $27,000, $21,000, I can't remember, out of the landfill capital because we put $1 a ton back in landfill.
motion included the third part of the resolution that is budget.
Right.
You're saying?
Yes.
Correct.
In addition.
If you got your markets, I'd say it's okay.
You just don't know how hard it is to get anything through market.
Oh, I understand.
It's absurd. Did I say that on the record? I'm messing with you.
Okay. Any other questions for either of them? We have a motion and second. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Who's second?
I really appreciate it. It's a tough lick. I know it's a lot of money, but it's keeping us in business. Okay. Thanks.
All right, next we'll consider for approval to retask airport improvement program grant monies and amend the budget accordingly.
I'll just say real quickly, you go right ahead. Good news is this was money that was already allocated to the old airport that we no longer have to use, and they're letting us use it on the new airport. Recasting. Money's already there.
Anything you want to add, Robert?
That's basically it. It's money that we were going to use to do a fence project. We no longer need to do that at the current airport. It's money that we're going to use to do the paperwork and environmental permitting, mitigation credits, and everything we need to do to get ready for land acquisition.
Okay. Okay. All right, I have a motion. We have a second. Motion and a second. Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. All right, we will consider for approval to amend the City of Griffin, Swan County Airport Authority fiscal year 2015 operating and capital budget in the amount of $28,000. This agenda and amendment serves to correct the current year budget since the city's board approved the purchase back in 2013, fiscal 14. The truck was subsequently delivered and invoiced in fiscal 15, thus crossing fiscal years. I guess reappropriate.
I move we amend the budget accordingly.
Have a motion, have a second? Motion, have a second. Any questions for Marshall? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Consider approval to purchase from the lowest and most responsive bidder, Presidio Network Solutions, a battery backup power system in the amount of $34,889.69 for the city server room and electric operations control room. Director Bill Bosch will address.
I have a question, Mr. Bosch. What happened to our big generator out there was supposed to pick up and do this powering? Why we have to buy a battery if we have a big generator like that?
Well, you always have to have, good evening, I'm sorry. We've always had a battery backup on our SCADA system, and for that instant when you're switching over from an outage to a generator, there's a lapse, and a lot of times there's a startup period for those programs, so these UPS systems keep you from having that 15 or 20 minute lapse that you might have to get programs back up. And of course, if you're in the midst of an outage and trying to manage that and your systems go down, this assures that our systems will stay up for at least an hour. The one change that we've had, this has always been part of our OMS plan, our outage management, but we work together with Jack and IT in the IT department. So not only will it keep SCADA up, it will keep the entire server room up. So it's really a better plan than what we originally had. So with the generator, with Phil's generator, the UPS, we're kind of bulletproof now. Yes.
We were bulletproof with that generator, but didn't run. Did we get it, Tony?
Yeah, I think Phil has that all worked, and we've done a live test under load, and like I say, this was always involved in our OMS program as far as the work we were going to do to the room, and then also we'll probably take the old unit and put it out there see what we can get for it. Thank you, sir.
Motion second. Any other questions for Bill? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Unanimous. Bill, let me ask you a change real quick since we're about to hit winter. I would still really love to get the mapping system going for people who have the outage. I know we kind of talked about this and getting Alvin involved with, continuing to do the street outages, but I know we're about to hit that period, and I don't know if we can look anymore at the same thing at what Georgia Power is everyone to have the work.
We have been very active with our OMS mapping. We're about complete with what they call the DAS maps, and if we can 5-minute sidebar or something, I'll fill you in on what's going on.
So you got something?
It's in the works.
Okay.
Not quite to where you want it yet, but we will be prepared. But I'll fill you in on it.
All right, thanks. All right, next we will consider for approval to amend the City of Griffin fiscal year 2013-14 operating and capital budget for Federal Emergency Management Association Fund in the amount of $207,940 for expenditures resulting from winter storms.
Still haven't received our money, but this will let us get it.
The applications have already been filed. What we had to do is wait for the audit numbers, the final numbers for the application, and then the audit results, and now we have that information available, and per the Georgia rules, all governments are supposed to adopt budgets for all their governmental funds. This falls into that category, and this is a way of mitigating an audit comment, so we're doing what we need to do, what we should have done had we had the information before the close of the fiscal year. If we knew what we were going to do at the beginning of the year, we adopt the budget, $200,000 for FEMA, but we don't want to project monies that are just a result of a catastrophe.
Is this our total amount of money that we spent?
That's based on what's been filed, yes, sir.
From power company to public works?
Yes, sir.
And then that's...
Yes, solid waste, the distribution is between electric, roughly, what we have there is in the electric fund, $15,000, that's 12.5% of the total. So if we back that up, then that's I didn't do the backwards math. But we are getting 12.5% is our out-of-pocket out of the entire kit and caboodle. So we're getting $181,935 back on a $207,000 expenditure.
Do you have a spreadsheet that shows all that you could...
Actually, it's attached to the agenda item in the back in the resolution. There's a distribution of all the costs by object code.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, sir.
I move we
Second.
A motion and a second, any other questions? The auditors be good to go. So this is basically what it's about, approving the budget for the auditors.
Correct.
For something that
Well-
we realize is available.
Right.
All those in favor, please raise your hand.
The
Thank
golf
you.
course, the netting,
Yes, sir. Yeah, we have a $10,000 liability on that. That's the reason you see two numbers there. $12,290 and $10,000. That's the result of the claims. That's our deductible.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'll move to city manager's report. Dr. Keller, do you have anything?
One thing I gotta remember, Friday is Halloween. It's gonna be very busy downtown, and, we need to make sure the kids stay safe, and then also in the neighborhoods also, so it'll be a busy Friday evening. That's it.
Sure.
A lot of what Brent just told you, I saw on the internet, that in Florida County, Florida, they might have to call Halloween because of feral hogs when the kids are in school.
Feral hogs?
Be glad we don't have that problem.
We don't. We can be known for that, not having feral hogs.
We're a poor county, we have non-feral hogs.
All right, I'll assume that's all. Commissioner Moore?
Well, just so y'all know, yesterday, Robert and I traveled to meet GDOT. We had a great meeting on the airport and a whole list of topics on proceeding. This money we transferred from old airport to new is paying for our, one thing's paying for is the actual design work for the new airport. So, that's very important to get it specified. And we talked to them about our questions, they had some questions, so we have a great working relationship moving forward, and they want to see this going and built. We're going to meet monthly and all that, so I'm very encouraged that this is going to move right along as well. And GDOT is really for it. We have good work on it.
Do you have any further estimate on revenue bond time frame that we're?
Within about 60 days. And Monday night, we should have a report from our bond council, who's been chosen. And I told him I wanted to immediately, so that we can be buying land in January. And I think that's very doable. And the FAA, we submitted GDOT questions about which one purchase first. So we'll have that answer, and we'll go out and buy those pieces for FAA. And, we're gonna spend our money right up front, and the FAA's coming in, so I'm heartened that this thing's gonna move along. Less issues than I thought it would, so.
The 800 on there, they are 700,000, can you look at that now? The barrel?
No. But we have a credit we're applying for, and we get some money in the budget, we can get it back, but we have applied for it.
Okay.
And this money we're using here is already, work too, so. Looking good. I know there's gonna be some problems, but at the moment, it's minimal.
Commissioner Elder?
No comment.
Okay. All right, okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
A motion second? Second.